So I'm not at the beach anymore, but I am in progress of moving into a new apartment, so the supplies are not readily available to me for this lab. So instead of a steel ball and a billiard ball, I'm using a soccer ball and a ball that I made out of headbands. So they are different in shape and mass, similar to a billiard ball and a steel ball. So we'll see how the first trial goes. So because the soccer ball is so much heavier and my ruler is a little bit flimsy, I had to use an umbrella for this test to hold back the soccer ball. So the winner of that race, I did the race a couple times just to make sure, switching which side the soccer ball and the other ball were on, to make sure that it was an even surface, and the race was really close, but every time the headband ball actually beat the soccer ball. So I had predicted that the soccer ball would be the winner, and so I explained why this happened in the write-up below. The second test is the hollow cylinder test. So for one hollow cylinder, it's a roll of tulle fabric, and then for the other one, I have a roll of toilet paper. So they have different diameters, different weights, different materials. So in that race, the roll of the tulle was faster than the roll of toilet paper, which is what I had predicted after watching the first trial. So the third trial is hollow cylinder. I couldn't really find a lot of hollow cylinders, so our first object is a Lysol can that's mostly full, and our second one is a full can of ground cinnamon. So just like in the soccer ball one, the can of Lysol was too heavy for the ruler, so we're using the umbrella instead, which kind of offsets it a little bit. So this one surprised me because I had predicted that the can of spice would win, just based off of the other two races that I had already done, but the can of Lysol was actually the faster one in this. So race 4 asks for a hollow cylinder and a solid cylinder, so we're going to use the tulle and the ground cinnamon. So as you can see, the ground cinnamon was a lot faster than the fabric roll, which I had predicted incorrectly. So race number 5 calls for a ball and a solid cylinder. So just like I had predicted, the cinnamon was quicker than the fabric ball. The 6th race calls for the ball and a hollow cylinder, and I'm predicting that the hollow cylinder is going to win. So that race was a lot closer than I had expected it to be, and the fabric ball actually won by just a little bit. For the last race, we obtained a can of sloshy soup, style black beans, which is very liquidy, and I have sweet corn, which is pretty solid. So for that one, I had predicted that the more solid one would be faster, just because there would be more weight centered around it moving. But in this case, the sloshy soup was actually faster, and I think it's because of the liquid being able to move around and give a little bit more momentum. Okay, so again, because I am moving into a new apartment, I don't really have everything. So for the weighted stick, we're using the ruler with a shirt on it, and then we're using a shower rod, which is weighted on both ends. So for this one, rotating back and forth, really easy. There's pretty much no resistance whatsoever. And then with this one, it's harder as there's weight on each end, so the resistive force is a lot stronger, and I've explained in more depth in the write-up.